How's it going everyone? Jakexvx here, back on Forza Horizon 3 today. Now this is a different video to what I would usually make, but this is still going to be a rather interesting and fun video. As many of you probably know, the Porsche 918 Spider was recently in a Forzathon, meaning that we could win it for our own car collection. And upgraded, the Porsche 918 Spider is unbelievable. It has crazy speed, it has crazy handling, and if you're a regular Forza Horizon 3 player, you will know that the Lamborghini CENTENARIO also has insane speed and handling. It holds a lot of the top lap times and top speed trap times just because of how fast it handles and how good it is in general. Now there's been many rumours going around that the 918 Spider is faster and better all round than the CENTENARIO. There's been rumours that it haven't. So today what I did was I went with my friend Paul. He is the co-leader of the XVX crew on Forza Horizon 3. If you want to join it, things in the description. I gave him enough money to buy the Lamborghini. I already had the Porsche, and then we did a few races together. We also did a drag race. So in this video, we're going to look at the drag race between the Lamborghini and the Porsche, and we're also going to look at a few races to see how each of them perform handling wise and straight wise. Bear in mind, we're not the best of drivers, but I did find the best tune for the Porsche and the best tune for the Lambo that hold a lot of top record times. Here we are starting with the drag race between the two cars. Now this is an interesting result, we're going to watch it right now. And bear in mind, I did get the best tune for each car, as I said, for all round handling and speed. Just all round a track tune, I chose the best I could find for each car. Now off the line you can see the Porsche has a lot more grip, and it just takes off. For a drag race, that's a decent amount of distance. Once we're reaching 200 miles an hour and 200 to 220 miles an hour, you can see the Lamborghini slowly start to crawl up. You can see right now it is catching up very quickly, but the Porsche got enough speed at the beginning to keep the lead until the end. Meaning that by this we can see that most tunes on the Porsche are going to give it a faster 0 to 150, 0 to 200 time than the Lamborghini. Therefore on these straights the Porsche will have an advantage and might be able to gain some distance between the Porsche and the Lambo. However, if it's a long straight or you're at high speeds, the Lamborghini will have the advantage because it has a higher top speed and performs better than the Porsche does at the 230 miles an hour range. Now what we have now is a sprint race between the Porsche and the Lambo with exactly the same tunes as seen before. We're going to be able to see which one had the advantage on the straights, which one has advantage on the corners. Bear in mind this was our first race of the day, so we might be a bit rusty, but it's still enough to see who has the advantage in what situation. Off the line you can see we're both as fast as each other off the line, but when it comes to the corners you saw the Lamborghini just pull away there, but I think he broke a bit too much on that second corner, so I managed to overtake him. Now on the straights, this is where the Porsche really can show its skill. It took off from the Lamborghini there, but because the Lamborghini has a bit better brakes, it catches up on the corners. Once again we're at another straight here, Porsche has taken off yet again. Doesn't have to brake for any of these corners, even this high speed one. I do hit the barrier, just ignore that. But as you can see, I look behind me and the Lamborghini is nowhere to be seen. I do spin out a little, once again, just ignore that. Lamborghini is still all the way back there. Now I'm not saying this is because Paul is a bad driver, he is quite a decent driver, but I think it's just because this Porsche has crazy speed on the straights. Now here I do kind of let off the throttle just a little bit just so Paul can catch up, so we can pair in them a bit more. But when it comes to cornering, the Porsche is quite good. It just depends how sharp the corner is. On corners like that and the one just before that, I lost my spoiler, ignore that. But on very numb corners that don't require much turning, the Porsche can handle it absolutely fine. It doesn't need to brake or anything like that. But on corners like this one, as you can see, I hit the barrier. The CENTENARIO will overtake the Porsche on corners like that. Like this one here, for example, it doesn't have the handling that the Lamborghini has. But when it comes to corners like these ones that are coming up now, not that one, once again, you see, I just overdid it because the Porsche isn't as good as handling as the Lamborghini. The Lamborghini, as you see on the map, is starting to catch up, probably because it was taking corners better than me. Once again, that corner there, the Porsche struggled with that sharp bend. Overall, the Porsche did win, mainly because it had that extra speed. Yes, I did crash on some sharp bends, but around the narrow bends that didn't require much handling, the Porsche was just gone. Onto a second race now, just for more comparison. This is actually another sprint race, but in the city this time. Off the line, the Lamborghini takes the lead. Somehow I must have not put it on full throttle, but you'll see as we enter the city, there's a lot more sharp bends, which the Porsche tends to struggle on compared to the Lambo. As we enter the main heart of the city, you'll see there are a lot of 90-degree bends, and the Porsche, I have to brake an awful lot. Meaning that on the straight just after the corner, the Lamborghini has that extra speed to boost in front of me. But since the Porsche has better speed on sprints, it can catch up to the Lambo. So it's very, very, very equal. They're very, very similar cars. You see the Lamborghini is in front yet again. No matter how fast I catch up to him on these straights, he still leaves me on the corners. This was a complete fail right here. I tried to jump to the left side of the road, but I hit that. He didn't actually wait for me there, I believe. So as we catch up to each other, there's a straight here, and you can see me gain some distance on him. Not enough, but just a little bit. But as we get to the corners, you'll see the Lamborghini once again just take off and get a bit more speed than me round the bends. Apart from that one, he hit the wall. 3/4 of the way through the race now. I am full throttle through all of this bends. I'm trying to get as fast as possible, drifting round. I have to brake so much on these bends to get some speed. Now we get to the last sprint on the way to the finish line. You see me, I leave the Lamborghini in the dust because this has so much more speed on these sprints. But as you see here, I forgot that this race is a pain and he overtook me because I kind of messed up. Now overall, my thoughts on both of these cars, they are both pretty similar. But what I would suggest is if you have more of a sprint race that doesn't have many sharp bends, I do suggest using the Porsche. However, if it's a race with a lot of sharp bends like the one you see on screen right now, I highly suggest choosing the Lamborghini, as that has more speed around the corners than the Porsche can ever do. This comparison may be a bit inaccurate. I know that some of you will be able to beat my times on these races in the Lambo, and then some of you will be able to beat those times in the Porsche. It just depends on the driver. But in general, these cars are kind of equal, and in a normal head-to-head race, they do pretty similar. As I said, if a race is more of a sprint race than a handling race, choose the Porsche. If it's more of a handling race, I would choose the Lambo. For Goliath, I'm not really sure which one would win, because the Goliath has a lot of high speed, which the Lamborghini would have the advantage on due to a ridiculous top end, and there's also a lot of handling, so the Lamborghini would also have advantage there, but the Porsche would have more speed down these short straight lines, so I think it would be pretty close, depending on the driver. But anyway, if you've watched this video for advice whether to buy the Porsche or not, do you think it's worth it? Yes, I think the Porsche will be worth buying. If you've clicked on this video for that reason, the Porsche will be worth buying, since you can only get it off the auction house now. Sorry if this has been inaccurate, tried to make it as good as I could. In my opinion, they're both fantastic cars. Hope you have all enjoyed this video, guys. Hope you all have a nice day. I'll see you all later.